Right, let's recap the dividends now on race 6 here at Rosehill. 5, 12 and 7. Zastoff, I Spy, Making Fay. 431.90 for the winner. I Spy 330, 210 for Making Fay. The Quinella 32.20 and $198 for the trifecta. Right, we'll just have an update, I think, on the totes on the Golden Slipper, because that's the race everybody is looking at this moment. And here we go. Reduced Choice, a late scratching. Number 2, Shogun Lodge, I'll get that right, at $4.40. A line into $12. Catbird at $4.10, still favourite. Passmore, $47. Martree, $22. Dangerous, $8.30. Cullen at $21. TAB number 9 is Papiano's Son at $10. High Rolling at $11. Quick Star, $61. Majestically, $41. Oamaru Rhythm was scratched earlier in the week. Easy Rocking at $40. Countess Christie at $8.50. $57 for Mark Connor's filly Boulevard. And over the page to number 17, Parting Jester, which is at $111. Well, there's been a buzz around Canberra this week, and an even bigger buzz around Queanbeyan, because one of their own, Frank Cleary, is taking on the City Slickers with Catbird in the Golden Slipper. And as Michael Maher reports, for Frank Cleary, it's payback time.
Yeah, Michael, keep about 4 or 5 off, mate.
Peering out into the fog, Frank Cleary admits to a recurring nightmare. Clan O'Sullivan's defeat in the Golden Slipper 7 years ago.
Burst has swamped Clan O'Sullivan, 4 straight for Shane Dye.
So get the old scrapbook out and the whole video out and have a look at it, and I've got a photo of the wall downstairs that he's still in front, about 20 yards from home. I thought, well, that could have been a Golden Slipper, but it wasn't to be. But anyhow, as I said, that's history.
Most trainers don't see a second chance, but Frank has it with Catbird.
Just relaxed lovely in himself.
Didn't fall?
Nah, just relaxed, just travelled nice.
Don't be fooled by the street signs here. Frank Cleary's stables aren't in Canberra, but next door in Queanbeyan. The address affectionately known as Struggle Town, where things are often understated, but like Floyd, still do the job.
Is this Struggletown dog here?
That's Struggletown dog here. He's part of Struggletown, this little fella. He thinks he owns the place, Michael.
Is he big enough to look after that horse?
Not really, but he thinks he can.
Until Catbird moved in here last year, Floyd hadn't seen the likes of such blue blood. A strapping Danehill colt bought for $400,000 at last year's Sydney Easter sales.
This horse is very special. You want to be $400,000 worth. The ones I normally get are either leased or, $10,000 or $15,000 horses.
But does it make you fret having a $400,000 horse in the stable?
No. That horse over there gets the same feed as him, and the one down the bottom gets the same feed as him. They all fed the same, looked after the same, so.
The locals here are looking to their leader. Something in the air tells them that the boss may be on the verge of greatness. But early Sunday morning, Frank's trying to forget about what happened to his football team the night before.
Illawarra to the death, trying. Brown goes to the air. Going back is Mabon, leaping high and taking it in marvellous fashion was Ron Wishart.
Wishart was at least 20 yards offside. It was like playing Aussie rules. They kicked it and he was down there to catch it.
Frank was a handy player himself for the Queanbeyan Blues, the team that provided the basis for the Raiders. He's their #1 fan. But for now, his concentration is on a horse.
Nothing worries him, We took him to Maria, and where he has to go to the beach there, it's right at the end of the airport. And Ben was leading him across to the beach, and the plane flew over. Would have only been 100 feet above us. And I thought, oh, hell, we're in trouble here. But it never worried him, he just kept walking.
On Sunday, Frank and Strapper and Minder, son Ben, loaded their hope up for his mission in the city.
Is the city ready for Struggletown?
They mightn't be yet, but in a week they'll know about it, mate.
Remarkably, the same owners who stepped aboard the last roller coaster with Clan O'Sullivan are back for the ride on Catbird. Guam businessman Ken Jones has experimented with plenty of trainers. But those fond memories of Clan O'Sullivan's Black Opal win prevailed. Frank received the brief from Ken's right-hand man, Merlin Connolly.
About a month or 6 weeks after the sale, Merlin rang me, I was here. He said, you better sit down. And I thought, oh, what's happened now? Then he said, I'm going to give you that downhill to train.
Were you surprised?
I fell over. Yeah, I nearly fell over. I rang Sue and ran straight in home and put on the phone to thank Ken.
When Catbird followed the clan's path with a win in the Black Opal preview and then the big race itself, Ken's faith was justified.
But inside the final 100, and the bird has flown. Catbird races away. It's all Catbird in the run of the line, getting home late with a quiver. He's down, Catbird.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just tickled to death to be here today. Aren't we having fun now? Yay!
This year, Frank had decided to be more subdued, treating the Black Opal more as a Golden Slipper preview. Alongside his wife Sue and Canberra player Jason Croker, Frank watched apprehensively, knowing his horse was underdone. Catbird was Fatbird. To Frank's relief, the colt still took the $140,000 first prize. What Sue said in Frank's ear summed up where the real focus lay.
3 weeks now. 3 weeks.
I left him as bad as mud for that too. I just wanted to watch his last furlong. I left him as bad as a fool for that.
Thank you for bringing that horse to Queanbeyan. Good on you, boss.
Thanks for your help, George.
With emotions running strongly, you get closest to the pleasure Cleary would derive from winning the Golden Slipper, and the day Frank can't quite forget in March 1992.
I think Ken deserves one after Clan O'Sullivan days and the heartbreak of that horse getting caught in the last sort of 30 metres and how the race was run that day. I'm not going to mix words, it's stuck in my guts what went on in that race, and if we get a chance now, we'll give it back to him, mate.
Cleary has tried to reverse the result with a hard but fair preparation. 4 consecutive wins, including a win over well-credentialed Dangerous.
Dangerous 2 lengths away, can't pick up Catbird. Catbird in front and a great return after that short let up, and he wins by a length to Dangerous.
An impressive hit out at Canberra was followed by a slashing workout at Rose Hill. Then the ideal barrier draw, courtesy of jockey Mark de Montfort.
And has he done himself any good here? Has he what? Barrier 3.
Oh, yeah, Marcus! Oh, yeah, Mark!
If you hear Old Man River a little later this afternoon, you'll know that Struggletown has hit the big time.
It just keeps rolling.
Nice people, a real good bloke, Frank Cleary. Good bloke to have a drink with in a pub with. Just a real good fella. Let's take a break now. We'll be back with the big one, the Golden Slipper Stakes on Sports Saturday.
The Golden Slipper, Fapiano's son, first time up in Sydney, travelled up okay, all 100%.
Wonderful. Couldn't be happy with the way he's done. He's just in perfect order. He's had a very good preparation leading in to the race. Obviously, he's meeting these Sydney colts for the first time, but I think he'll be competitive and run well.
Is it a fair criticism to say he either runs very well or doesn't give of his best? Because he has been beaten a distance in a couple of his runs, or were there excuses?
Yes, he had problems in both those runs. One was a wet track at Flemington, the other one he was shin sore, so he had genuine excuses. When he's been right, he's been very dominant.
Hasn't been a great race for the family, the Golden Slipper. Are you going to change that today?
It's been an unlucky race. I'll be delighted if we just have a nice run in the race and he can give his best.
Good on you, all the best.
Thank you.
Peter Hayes talking with Simon O'Donnell about his slipper candidate, Fapiano's son. Well, we're all looking for a leg up for the slipper at this time, getting very close to race time. Shane Dye has played a major hand in the slipper. He's ridden 3 of the main hopefuls in all their lead-up races. Shane's got a little stable together. Here he is with a form guide on the Shane Dye stable runners.
Clan O'Sullivan is shortening stride, Loving Cup, and Burst down the outside is rocketing to the line. Burst has swamped Clan O'Sullivan, 4 straight for Shane Dye.
Now, to win the Golden Slipper, you need a very tough horse. I've ridden 3 of the runners in today's race, and I've trialled 1 other. Now, Cullen's a lovely horse. He's very well bred, and he's got a good barrier at 5. He'll go forward in the race. He'll be running in the first 5 or 6, and he should get a good run. The trouble with Cullen is he might run out in the straight and hang a bit.
But it's Cullen in front at the 200, leads by 2 lengths to Harley, who's trying hard, and then Real Jester on the outside from Honour the Name. Cullen in front, Harley a bit green behind it, can't pick him up at the moment. Cullen hands and heels, and Cullen wins at a half length to Harley.
I think he's good enough to run 3rd, 4th or 5th or 6th. I don't think he's quite there yet to win. I've ridden Countess Christie. Now, she's the best filly in the race, there's no doubt about that. She's probably the best filly in Sydney. I really like this filly, but I think she's looking for 1,400 metres.
It's Katima in front of Cutter Bub, Happy Spring, Miss Zoe, and now Countess Christie and Forest Express in the centre after Katima. Countess Christie's loomed up alongside of Forest Express at the 50. Forest Express is matching Countess Christie, but she's coming home the better the favourite, and Countess Christie goes home to win from Forest Express.
Once again, she's got a very good barrier and at barrier 6. She's going to get back on the fence. She's got a very good rider in Greg Hall, and watch her come home late. I expect her to finish about 5th or 6th. The other horse I've ridden is Shogun Lodge. It was a hard choice for me to make between Shogun Lodge and Redoubt's Choice. But Shogun Lodge, he can definitely win this race. He's going to get back. He's drawn barrier 10. The barrier's not going to be a problem. It's the traffic in front of him. He can't do things wrong. Johnny Marshall carried the stick in his right hand today, and I don't think he'll run in much. If he's going to win, he's only going to get to the front at about the 50-metre mark. He's a very, very good horse, and he can win.
Shogun Lodge given his head at the 200 metres mark. He's turned him loose, Marshall. He wanted to duck back in front for High Rolling. High Rolling was stopped in his tracks virtually, but Shogun Lodge at the 100 burst well clear. High Rolling coming again, Cullen on the outside, but Shogun Lodge too good. Wins by over 2 lengths to High Rolling.
The other horse I've trialled is High Rolling. He's got a tendency to lay out under pressure, which he's done his last couple of starts. I can't see him winning, because on his last 2 appearances, Shogun Lodge has run right over the top of him at the furlong on each occasion.
Well, Shane can't see High Rolling win. High Rolling, of course, is trained by the effervescent Gai Waterhouse. Gai's now with Michael Marsh.
Gai Waterhouse.
Mark Connors, you've had the most pre-race luck of the slipper by drawing...
High Rolling now has barrier 6.
Yes, well, he's, I don't think it would have made much difference if he'd had barrier 1 or 15, 16. He's very honest, he's very workmanlike, and the most important thing is he's a touch of brilliance about himself.
So what are the instructions for Glenn Boss? Will he go to the lead?
Oh, Glenn and I have discussed it on and off this week, and really, other than talking about the speed in the race and the horses that I think will be leading or sharing the lead, I really leave it to him. I never tie my jockeys to very strict instructions, and on these big races, Glenn will know exactly best. But I don't know if he'll be leading, but we'll be right up there. He's a speed horse.
This horse won the Breeders' Plate, but it's a pretty remarkable story after that, isn't it? Can you tell me what happened to it? It had a bit of a setback.
Well, we got him ready to take him up to Brisbane for the Magic Millions, because he's a Magic Millions horse, and he got a little cut on his leg, and we thought it was right. The vets gave him the all clear, and he got on the float and he got travel sickness, a little virus or something, and he was literally dying on the 26th of December. He was lying in his box with his little legs in the air, and they pronounced him, they basically pronounced him dead.
Gave him the last rites.
Well, practically, they do that with horses. Anyway, he recovered. He's a remarkable horse. That's what I mean by he's tough. He's really tough. 3 months later, he's back one of the chances in the Golden Slipper.
Gai, your first Golden Slipper win, maybe?
Well, I hope so.
Good luck, Gai.
Thank you.
Gai Waterhouse. Right, let's see how much money you're going to get if you back the winner of the slipper. And as we look at the totes, number 1 is out. Number 2, Shogun Lodge at $3.90, a Lion at $12. Catbird, $4.30, a second favourite to Shogun Lodge. Passmore, $48, 22 for Martree. Dangerous at $8.80, he's come well into commission. Cullen at $22. TAB number 9 is Fabiano's Son at $10. High Rolling at $12. The white price is the correct price. Quick Star at $65. Majestically at $40. Oamaru Rhythm is a scratching. Easy Rocking at $43. Countess Christie at $8.70. Boulevard at $55, and Departing Jester is over the page at $123. That's the TAB story. Andrew Voss is in the betting ring.
Kenny, g'day again. Just on Gay Waterhouse's Hope High Rolling. Well, in the ring you can get 16 to 1, but as for the ones that are right in the market, they've all eased a little bit. The favourite Shogun Lodge has gone out half a point. It represents better value on the tote than here in the betting ring. Likewise, Catbird, Align and Fabiano's Son. One that has had a bit of money is number 15 for Clary Connors, Countess Christie. It's come in a couple of points, so one perhaps to watch. Number 15. And talking about the Connors family, let's hear the chances of another horse, Mark Connors trained Boulevard, as we go to a break on Sports Saturday.
Mark Connors, you've had the most pre-race luck of the slipper by drawing Barrier 1 with Boulevard.
Yeah, it's been, hopefully the luck keeps going till Saturday, but drawing ones, it's really put her in the race now. I know her form's not as good as a lot of them in the race, but she's drawn one, and the only time we did draw a barrier in the Silver Slipper, she sort of ran the race of her life. So hopefully she can do it again.
At the 200 metres mark, Rogish in front. Boulevard getting up on the inside. The bolter. Boulevard spotted the gap and went to the front. Passmore's after the filly. Passmore levelled up to Boulevard with 100 to run. Boulevard in front. Passmore lunging. Boulevard clinging on. Passmore gets the upper hand and wins the Silver Slipper. Passmore's won from Boulevard.
Has she done well in the last couple of weeks?
Done super. The 2 weeks between runs been great for her. She'll go in the race now, very fit and no problems whatsoever.
Well, there it is. That's what they're all aiming to win. What a magnificent trophy. And that is the Golden Slipper Trophy, the Amy Golden Slipper Trophy for 1999. And, well, it's a magnificent trophy. And as you can see, the horses have already started to parade before the big one. I'm sure at this point, the jockeys are all just a little bit nervous. And there, as Darren Beedman, Shane Dye and Simon O'Donnell join me, is Shogun Lodge. To be ridden by John Marshall, trained by Bob Thompson and Shane Dye. I know you're wishing Johnny well, but you'd dearly love to be on him. He's your tip now.
Oh, I think he'd just win. He just needs a little bit of luck along the way. He's an outstanding racehorse, this, and he's got an enormous turn of foot. He looks beautiful. Bobby Thompson's presented him just absolutely perfect. He'll get back, but he'll get home, Darren.
He will.
Darren, there's number 3, Align. Rodney Quinn's riding him for John Hawkes. The alley beat him?
Well, he's one horse that's drawn out wide that could probably overcome that. He has got good speed, so I presume Rodney Quinn will press on forward down to the first corner to try and take up a position.
Yeah, and Align, of course, as I said, is trained by John Hawkes. Behind Align is a magnificent bay colt. There he is, Catbird, Simon O'Donnell. Gee, I think he's got a chance. He's got a turn of foot, this horse.
Yeah, certainly has. He's won his last 4, and the recent one being the Black Opal in Canberra on his home track. But look, I think once he gets to the front, he just does what he has to do, and I think there's a little bit left in the tank with this horse.
Mark de Montfort is riding Catbird for Frank Cleary, and the American millionaire Mr. Ken Jones is the owner. There's Passmore. Brian York is riding him for Jack Denham. He won the Silver Slipper. Can he turn it into gold, Shane?
Look, he had everything go his own way in the Silver Slipper. He's had 3 starts against Shogun Lodge, and I think he should have beat him every start, Shogun Lodge.
OK, trailing up behind Passmore will be his stablemate. And there he is, Martree. Darren, you think he's more of a 1.25 mile horse. Jim Cassidy rides him.
Exactly. He's a very long, sort of loping type of horse. They rode him upside down last start, and he still won. He's had 3 starts, hasn't finished out of the money yet, but he'll be one flying home.
Simon O'Donnell, Dangerous, who's in centre screen now, the John Hawkes train, Larry Cassidy ridden, should have finished closer to Testarossa in the VRC size produce.
Yes, you can't take anything away from this horse. He ran well in the Blue Diamond. He was flashing home and then put up a good effort against Testarossa, which is a class 2-year-old. You've got to give Dangerous a chance here. Look for him really sprinting home in the last 400.
Shane has ridden the next horse, who's a magnificent colt, Cullen. An expensive yearling, 680,000. Darren Gauci rides him today. Shane, pretty tough assignment for him.
Yeah, but if you're looking for a roughie, this is it. He's going to get a lovely run from 4. He's got the blinkers on today because he's been hanging. He ran very well in the Blue Diamond. He ran 4th, and the form out of that's very, very strong. He's number 8, Chinese lucky number, Ken. They win a lot of Group 1 races. He's a good hope.
I'll remember that. We might get it put on Tie the Knot. Here's Fabiano's Son. Greg Childs rides Fabiano's Son for Peter Hayes. Simon O'Donnell, you know most about him.
Yeah, look, the horse looks absolutely wonderful. Peter Hayes has got him looking cherry ripe. He's had 5 starts, won 3 of them. There's been excuses for his 2 losses, according to Peter, and they expect a bold showing today.
Number 10 is High Rolling. Darren, he's got the speed to be there. That's one thing.
He's a nice-looking individual, but he does a few things wrong in the race. You know, he hangs out, he rover races, so Glenn Boss is going to have to add his best today to get this horse home.
TAB number 11 behind him is one of the roughies, Quick Star. He'll get a long way back. but at least he will run home, Shane. He'll come into screen in a moment. There he is.
I rode him in a Magic Millions race, or the English Classic, and he got a long way back. He's going to get back, but he gets to the line. His last couple of runs weren't too bad, but it's hard to see him getting home over top of them, Ken.
Number 12 behind him is Majestically, who incidentally is part owned by the chairman of the Sydney Turf Club, Mr. Graham Pash, and Len Beasley will be riding him for Jack Denham.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. I just don't know whether he's quite up to this class or not. He had his chance to beat Shogun Lodge the other day, or a few starts back, but a line. But
wasn't good enough.
No, he just wasn't good enough.
There's Easy Rocking. Ron Quinton trains. Danny Nikolic, formerly from Melbourne, is riding him, Simon.
Yeah, certainly, and in good form, Danny Nikolic. And Ron Quinton, look, gives this horse a very good chance. We've heard from him earlier in our coverage, and he thinks that the horse will have a pretty good go at them today.
Number 15 is Countess Christie. She has won her last 3, 4 out of 5. Shane Dye often rides her.
Yeah, this is a lovely filly. She's got a chance now, the favourite's out. She's going to get a lovely run. She's going to get back, but she comes into barrier 5. She's going to get on the fence, and she's going to get the last crack at them. She is not the roughest.
Darren, there's Boulevard. I think the one Alley will help her.
Oh, without a doubt. Alley's win races, and it's certainly a big advantage to her. If she can just cuddle away there, she's got Alan Robinson on board, and I'm sure he'll walk to Newcastle if he wins today.
He's a bit of a character, the boy.
I reckon he'll do more than that, Darren.
And we haven't got the Parting Jester, but we've said previously, the Wellington boot, it's not the Golden Slipper, is it?
No, it's not the Golden Slipper, and barrier 16 is going to be a fair bit of hard work for Parting Jester. Graham Rogerson trains. You never underestimate him, of course, but I think his hopes will lie with Cullen.
Rightio, next up we're going to show you an aerial shot we did from a helicopter of the Golden Slipper course from the 1200 metre chute, and I think the best man to talk us through that is Shane Dye. And Darren, you're allowed to interrupt him, you know a bit about Golden Slippers.
Okay, here we go. Now, from an outside barrier, Parting Jester's going to press on, there's no doubt about that. After we jump, we've got to really dig our horses to maintain a spot. Fabiana's Son's going to go very fast. The horses on the fence are going to dig up like Boulevard, Cullen, those type of horses. We're getting into the first turn here, and there's always scrimmage. You're looking to be on the fence or one off. You don't want to be 3 and 4 wide. Now, if I'm on a horse who I think can win, I'm looking here. Where are all the chances? I'm giving my horse a rest. I don't want to press on. Now, we're pressing on here to about the half mile, and we're going to turn for home. I'm resting my horse because it's too far from home to be going, but I'm looking where all the chances. Now we turn for home. You push into the clear. You don't care where you are, you need a clear run. From here, no slipper winners get checked from here on in. And we're going for home. The slipper's over now. If a horse is interfered with here, you've got no hope. Now, I'm imagining Shogun Lodge is going to get to the front here and will run down the leaders. What do you think, Ken?
Well spoken, Shane. I think the one message you got through there is momentum. Don't lose momentum in the straight.
Very important from the turn. You've got to be going forward. If you get stopped, you have a look at all the Golden Slipper winners. None have ever got stopped. They're going forward.
How many would you give him for that ride, Simon?
I'd give him 11 out of 10, but I always give him 11 out of 10. You're the bloke that always does a go at him.
I better get to the totes before he starts socking it to me. Let's have a look at the totes on the Golden Slipper. Shogun Lodge, clear favourite now, $3.10. A line at $11. Catbird, second favourite at $4.80. Passmore at $52. Martree, $23. Dangerous, under double figure odds, $9.90. Cullen is at $24. TAB number 9 is Fabiano's Son at $11. High Rolling, $13. Quick Star a Ruffy at $74. Majestically, $41. Oamaru Rhythm is a scratching. Easy Rocking, $45. Countess Christie, one of 4 under double figures at $9.20. Boulevard at $61. And Parting Jester over the page is the roughest of all at $142. Up in the betting ring is our mate Andrew Voss.
Oh, nice that I'm your mate again now, Ken, am I? Now listen, I'm out amongst it, and I can tell you that all the big bets over the last 5 or 10 minutes have been for the favourite Shogun Lodge. It is an outright favourite, far and away the favourite for this field. It's come in shorter than 2-1 now. Plenty of bets still coming for the John Marshall ridden Shogun Lodge. Now look, there's still plenty of supporters though for Gay Waterhouse with High Rolling. It has come in 4 points. It is better value right at the moment on the tote than it is in the ring. The others which have firmed over betting over the last 20 minutes, Dangerous, Cullen, and what I told you before about Countess Christie. And for those hanging off or hanging out for the Voss tip, I'm on High Rolling.
Before they went out on the track, Chairman of Stipendiary Stewards, Mr. Ray Murray, addressed the jockeys. Here are his words of wisdom.
Mentioned in the media during the week that the stewards do have powers, and it's got to be borne in mind if someone throws caution to the wind to disqualify the horse. Similarly, we say there's no guarantee what happens, finishes in the steward's room here, so that's the salient points we want every jockey to bear in mind. One of the press said to me, are you going to have your usual sermon of the mount? And I said, well, I don't qualify to give a sermon, but I said I know someone who does, and I spoke to him earlier today, Darren Beedman, and Darren said, well, the advice he can give is to set a challenge. Well, the challenge is to all ride fairly, let the best horse win, and let this race be remembered, as I said, for the good deeds of the riders and the courage of the horses. Okay, best of luck, boys.
Well, Simon, Shane, I should say, I think the jockeys know what they've got to do at this stage.
Look, if I was in the race, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm around there now. I'm not nervous. Some will be, some won't be. You know what you got to do, Ken. It's a matter of doing it in the race, Simon.
Shane, isn't there a class distinction in that? I mean, you always see these Group 1 races over any distance, or I shouldn't say that, over probably 1400 and back, run quickly. There must be some jockeys that just panic a bit and don't judge the speed.
Well, in this race, it doesn't matter. You've just got to jump and go, Simon, because they go very quick. You can't get left behind. They're going to go quick out of the gates, although the last 2 years they haven't gone as fast as they normally do. But then again, in 1987, when Marauding won, they run their first 600 metres in 33.3, and that's why Marauding, Boasting and Lygon Arms come from the last three. So you've got to be wary of that, Simon. So you are correct, because if you're driving too hard, you haven't got enough at the end of the race.
That's the whole thing. If they go absolutely like maniacs, they're going to come from the rear.
Oh, Shogun Lodge will just win.
Yeah, he'll win easy. I agree with that. But last year, all of a sudden, they almost presented it to Prowl. Nothing took on the leader. He was running second cantering.
Well, see, what happened last year was Laurie's Lottery missed the start. I rode Laurie's Lottery. He was favourite. If he had jumped, I honestly believe he would have won, because he just would have got outside the leader and cruised. But when he missed the start, there wasn't that pace that everybody thought there was. So it presented itself to Prowl, and Chrissy Muntz rode him very well.
Right, they're behind the barriers. There's TAB number 6, Martree, in centre screen, and behind the barriers with them is Simon Marshall.
Thank you very much, Kenny. I'm just standing right in front of Cullen here and just having a chat with Darren Gauci. Apparently the cup on the blinker was on the wrong side, so they've had to reiterate the blinkers, start all over again. Now it's on the left-hand side of the horse's eye so that he can see the rail with his right eye. So there's a little bit of trivia for you. Cullen's just had his gear changed. He looks fine. He's come around nice and relaxed too. He hasn't sweated up too bad. Catbird looked absolutely sensational coming around, nice and relaxed too. Didn't really get revved up at all. I thought Shogun Lodge is nice and relaxed. He's a little bit on edge, which you know, expect him to be with that type of horse. Apparently he's a little bit like that always. I can tell you that Passmore could not fault whatsoever. Ooh, there, baby, just there. Shogun Lodge just digging up in front of me there. And I can also tell you that number 6, Martree, could not fold as well. Dangerous. Now, he's one that really took the eye. He come around nice and relaxed. He's just being led around by a barrier attendant. Spot on, this horse. Really tightened up nicely. I also thought that Cullen, number 8, we just spoke about him. No, lovely and relaxed. Fabiano's son, number 9, he got led around because he got a little bit revved up in the mounting yard. So we'll go over to you, Kenny. Apart from everything else, I thought that Cullen really come around nicely. He looked the best behind the yard with Shogun Lodge.
OK, thank you very much, Simon. Well, Darren Beedman has ridden 2 slipper winners, but this year, in 1999, he's in the grandstand. But he's in the grandstand sitting where all the connections are. How's the mood up there, Darren?
Good, thanks, Kenny. I suppose you could call me an ex-grandstand jockey. Yes, it's very, very excited up here. They've got Bobby Thompson, the trainer. I guess the thing about it now, all